Forget gurus. Forget anyone claiming to be an online business expert without going through the challenges of entrepreneurship themselves. The Real Money, Real Business podcast is here to prove the best insights in online business comes from your fellow online business builders. We dig into stories of entrepreneurs selling their business on the Empire Flippers marketplace so that you can learn how they made their business profitable, how they overcame obstacles, and what lessons they learned in their online journey. If you want to take your business and your knowledge to the next level, you've come to the right podcast. Let's get started.
Hey everyone, Max here with another great business to discuss on this episode of the Real Money, Real Business podcast. Today's guest is Sia, and he's selling his Amazon Associates business on the Empire Flippers marketplace. So welcome to the show, Sia, and how are you doing today?
Yeah, thanks, Max. Thanks for having me on here. I'm doing pretty well. Just enjoying another lovely Monday here in Mexico. I'm in Playa del Carmen, Mexico. I've been here for a little while. Yeah.
Cool, it's good to hear. Sort of dive into the interview in a minute, but I'll run over a brief summary of the business so everyone knows what we're on about. So it's an Amazon Associates business in the outdoors and technology niche, created in January 2017. The average monthly revenue for the business is $3,755 and makes an average of $3,612 per month in net profit. For everyone listening, you can visit empireflippers.com/marketplace and search for listing 48009 to learn more about the business. Included in the sale is the primary domain and all of the site contents and files, and a secondary domain used as a 301 redirect. So now that I've given a general overview of the business, Sia, can you tell us a little bit about your background in building and running online businesses?
Yep, sure, no problem. So I started way back when in sort of the Kindle KDP glory days, self-publishing. And I published, a number of books under my name and then also under some pen names. So I did that for a little while, and then I discovered SEO, and this was probably 6 years ago. And, from that point until now, I've done everything from building a local SEO agency to now doing PR for enterprise SaaS, which is, our primary business now. So we work with larger companies in the enterprise SaaS space and help them with their inbound marketing. Also has transitioned to just being a portfolio company with about 10 larger brands under our umbrella, mostly in the finance space, digital security, and then also e-commerce space. That's sort of my journey over the last little while. I've done everything from angel investing to some real estate investing to, building a portfolio company. So that's about it in a nutshell.
And how did you come up with the idea to start this particular one?
Funny enough, the theme of this site is something that I actually set up, something I did in college. It's a very niche down kind of hobby that people have been getting into for a while. And, over the last couple of years, it's been really trending, and in the future, it's going to be even bigger. So I discovered it because I was sort of in college. I had a house, and, we sort of set up, and sort of what the site was about is essentially what I did as a hobby. And then, I was thinking of my first couple of affiliate sites. This is, a couple of years ago, and this was one of about 10 sites I launched. And then this one it performed really well. And, the trend has just been going from there.
Why choose this business model? Why does it fit your niche so well?
Well, when I started the site to now, I've come a long way. So I don't do Amazon anymore. So this is the last Amazon Associates business that I have. I've sort of phased out doing Amazon Associates, and we just focus on other stuff. It's sort of become our bread and butter. But at the time, it was a very interesting niche, and there's a lot of people searching for it. And there was no other sites, and even to now, there are no other sites that are specifically about this thing. There are other sites that sort of cover it in like a 1 or 2 pages, but there's no sites that specifically cover this, which I'm pretty surprised about, that there's no other niche copycat sites. I've been expecting those to pop up in the last couple of years, and they just haven't.
Where does the majority of your traffic come from towards the site?
The majority of the traffic comes from the U.S. U.S. market is definitely the lion's share of traffic, but we also get traffic from other English-speaking geos as well.
And is that mostly organic traffic through SEO?
Yeah, this is mostly organic. Basically, don't engage in any other channels. There's definitely an opportunity to drive traffic from Pinterest or some of these other places, but my bread and butter is organic SEO. So I've just, how I built the traffic for the site.
So in terms of marketing, it's mostly just organic traffic through SEO then?
Correct. I do have some direct referral traffic, but I think the majority, like 80% above, is just all organic.
And it's 100% through Amazon Associates?
Yeah, so this is actually a pretty big opportunity for whoever's thinking about buying the site. Full disclosure, I have not spent much time on this business. It's been pretty neglected, and I haven't even monetized it with like the international Amazon Associates. It gets Canadian traffic and sales, but it's not monetized. It gets UK traffic and sales, but it's not monetized. I mean, we just put up the American Amazon Associates, and that was it.
And you sort of mentioned it there, but can you describe the amount of work that you do on this site for maintenance?
You probably get a lot of sellers that say that they don't do anything for the sites, but I really don't do anything for this. I haven't even logged on to, the site or checked anything for months now. I had a VA from Serbia that was helping part-time amongst a bunch of other responsibilities. And he was doing a little bit of the content writing, some of the on-site stuff, but he hasn't done anything for a while now. I think it's been like 5 or 6 months. So essentially for the last 5 or 6 months, if I'm going to break it down to time, I would say maybe an hour a month, maybe less than an hour a month. I mean, I don't do anything other than really look at the analytics on my dashboard amongst a whole bunch of other sites as well.
How has the content that exists on the site been created in the past?
If we go back to the beginning, it was written by native English speakers. I checked it myself, optimized some of it. And then, like I said, I had a Serbian VA, very good English, near native level English. And he was optimizing the pages and building the content. So for the content, I have basically a saved template. It's built in Thrive. So there's saved templates for the different, posts and also for the reviews. And so, whoever buys the site, it's literally just you use the template and then fill in the blanks. It's really simple.
And why are you deciding to sell the business instead of keeping it or growing it?
So a couple of reasons. So number one, it's a very small site compared to, some of the bigger portfolio sites we have are all 7 figures plus. And so there's just the ROI on this in terms of my attention it's very, very low. Second thing is, we're trying to shift predominantly into just doing affiliate for software. That's what we're good at. And the third one is I'm moving back to Canada sometime in the next year or so. I'd like to buy a property. So this capital would go towards that.
If you were to keep the business, what are some of the ways you might try and grow it?
So a couple of things. Number one, content. I haven't invested in content in it. A couple $1,000s of content would go a long way. I've tested a lot of keywords that pertain to, let's say, like home audio equipment or other specific kinds of electronic equipment. And those will perform well. You just need to write the content and optimize it. So that'd be the first one, content. Second is links. So you mentioned a 301 redirect. Other than that, I really haven't done any link building. It's just been sort of natural at this point. Third is, an on-site audit. The content is good. It's optimized, but again, the site would benefit from somebody to just do like an on-site audit of everything. Fourth would be monetizing non-Amazon US. Fifth would be, I think this one is really important, is trying to work out an advertiser deal with some of the manufacturers of this product. So in the past, there's been a lot of interest from the manufacturer side to promote various products. I've had several units of the product that I talk about been sent to me just as like a sample. These things are $1,000 plus. I know another site in the space and they do paid advertising and they make, I think, upwards of 20 to 30K a month, similar products. I know traffic is not that far apart. I just really haven't reached out to any of these. So advertising deal would be the fifth one. Sixth would just be, other methods of monetization, get a fair amount of emails, asking questions about the product, recommendations. So that's definitely an opportunity there. Well, overall, I would just say the strategy that's worked thus far, I would just double down on it. I think with a good team and some good resources, you could 2x, a potential buyer could 2x the revenue really easily. So that's it. One other one I will mention and I'm blabbing on here is it's about to go into its best 4 months, July, August, September, best 3 months. If somebody were to want to buy the site, there's a possibility that they could recoup a good amount of their investment because it's going into the peak season here.
Yeah, there's definitely some great opportunities there for someone. Is there anything that you learned from this business that you might apply to your future businesses or other businesses that you've got going on?
Yeah, that's a little bit hard to answer because everything has been sort of, my experience, been doing SEO for a while. Everything's been sort of gelled together. So I don't know where to draw the line, what I learned from this business or that business. But I mean, in terms of owning a niche down affiliate site that's not going to get gobbled up by some bigger site, I think this site has a lot of potential just because it's so niche and it's talking about one specific thing that's been trending upwards for the last couple of years.
And what do you think are some of the biggest risks associated with a site that a buyer should be aware of?
Of course, the main risk is, there's two risks essentially, right? So there's content and then there's link-based risk. So, from a content perspective, I don't think that's an issue. I've checked most of the content and I don't think there's any issue. The other thing is links. So, the site is 100% white hat. There's been, no PBNs on the site, no shady link schemes or anything like that. So, I look at a lot of other Amazon associate sites, and somebody who looks at links literally all day long, I could say that there's some real garbage being promoted by various people as a high quality niche site, when in reality all they're buying is a liability. So I could say that, with a good amount of confidence that that's not the case with this site. Anybody who has any experience with SEO when they look at the backlinks would probably agree.
And if a buyer was to come in for this, would you be willing to commit to a non-compete?
Yeah, I have absolutely no interest in doing Amazon Associates and have absolutely no interest in doing physical products.
And how much support are you willing to offer buyers? Is that the standard sort of Skype calls and email support?
Yeah, I think I laid this out, but one call to explain different things, and then, could do email support for up to 2 months. Email is just a lot easier for me. Jumping on a call is a much larger commitment for myself, but email support for 2 months is fine.
Yeah, that's fine. And are you open to negotiating something like an earn out?
The sale price of this is, it's not a lot, and it's going to do well this summer. So I don't see an earnout being a favorable situation to myself unless it's a very small earnout. But an earnout that's anything, let's say, above 20% of the price of the listing price is just not worth it for me, because, the site's going to do really well this summer if you just look at the historical data. So that would be my answer for that. Again, if somebody's trying to do like an earnout where they're trying to just give me like 50% of the money and then do an earnout for the rest, then I'd be happy just sitting on the site because it's a passive cash flowing asset. So yeah, hope that answers your question.
Yeah, definitely. And something we sort of like to do towards the end of this is maybe just give some advice to people that are just starting out or they're getting involved with online businesses. So what advice would you give to our listeners that you wish you knew when you started building sites like this?
I would say don't trust anyone. Don't trust any of these people that are trying to peddle courses or try to sell you different things, whether they're other websites or techniques or anything like that, because, most of it's just BS. I would say that the only way you're going to learn how to do SEO is testing, making a lot of mistakes, and also, protecting your downside risk by having some sort of service-based business if you're trying to do affiliate. So yeah, that's about it. I'd just say the SEO industry in general there's just a lot of nonsense and a lot of people talking out of their ass. So, I'll finish up by saying this is a fantastic site if somebody wants to buy a niche authority site. I'm really good at SEO. I know what I'm doing, and I've seen a lot of sites come and go, and I think this one definitely has a lot of potential and a lot of staying power.
Well, that's all been great to hear. Is there anything else you'd like to share that I might have missed?
Yeah, also one thing, I should have mentioned this before, but I was digging through some old writer invoices and came across, I think, about like 6 or 7 articles that we haven't used. It's probably about $2,000 to $4,000 worth of content. And whoever buys the site, I'll just give them the content for free. So that would basically cover their content costs for a while.
Oh, that's good information there. Thank you for joining me today, Sia.
Awesome. Thanks a lot.
Okay, everyone, thanks for listening. To learn more and see if this listing has already been sold, head over to empireflippers.com/marketplace and search for listing 48009. If you're watching this on YouTube, click the link in the description to go straight to the listing. Once you've unlocked this listing, you'll be given everything you need to know about this business. And I'll see you in the next episode.